Have you ever sat back playing a game and just experienced it either for the first time or maybe you're going through nostalgia? I had an experience with Tomb Raider not too long ago that some people didn't jive with, which is fine. We all have our own opinions. And I will be going back to Tomb Raider, just so you people know. Yeah, I read the comments. But it's not about me playing Tomb Raider necessarily, but it's about the act of playing Tomb Raider. For those people who played the original Tomb Raider games and who are playing the remaster, they are experiencing something that was made by people. Developers, a large group of developers, made that game, and then a different group of developers remastered that game. Without those developers, we would never have Lara Croft to begin with. Without developers, we wouldn't have any of the games we played. No Zelda, no Spider-Man, no Metal Gear Solid, no Halo, no Fallout, none of those games. Your favorite game, Pokemon, your favorite game, Elder Scrolls, your favorite game, Baldur's Gate, all those games have been and continue to be made by game developers, people with a set of skills that they've dedicated to honing in order to create something you guys would potentially enjoy. I've been playing video games my whole life. I'm 34 years old. I've been playing it my entire life. I started playing video games on the Genesis, and then I had, PlayStation, had a PS2, N64, PS3, Xbox 360, PS4, Xbox One. Like, I've had Nintendo Switch. I've had consoles growing up. I'm on PC now, but all I have to say is I really, really, really love video games. What I don't really love is when I see massive amounts of layoffs happening in the game industry. I have spoken about this before. The way the AAA industry is going is completely unsustainable. It's unsustainable. You have these companies who expect to make record profits every single year. And when they don't make record profits, who's left holding the bag? It's not the CEOs. It's the people who made those games in the first place. Sony just announced that worldwide, they are cutting 900 jobs. And the studios affected are including Insomniac, I believe also Guerrilla, Deck 9 got hit with layoffs. So many other studios are being hit with layoffs. And these are studios that are producing games that were like Game of the Year, either winners or contenders. They did everything right, everything you could do. One of the fastest selling PlayStation games of all time, or PS4 games of all time, nothing safe. Did the developers do anything wrong? No, they didn't. They weren't the ones who had massive ballooning budgets. They weren't the ones who decided to add like X celebrity and paid them Y amount of money. They weren't the ones who decided to, push for live services in every single sector. All they do is make the game that they are told to make and make it to the best of their abilities. And now on my timeline, it looks like a war zone. There are hundreds of tweets going out. People just talking about, yes, I was affected by the layoffs. I was hit by the layoffs. I am looking for a job. I'm trying to get things settled. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Like all of these things. And it's awful. All of these people have been working hard for you. One that really stood out to me was the PlayStation UK London studio is just being shut down completely. And in Sony's little address to people, they're just a blurb, just a little, they're done. They're gone. 5 days prior to that, mind you, the president of Sony came down there and was with them. And then 5 days later, they're gone. The whole studio's gone. It's just like that. But I don't think I need to go into any more detail about how I feel about the game industry. So I want to talk instead about Jeff Keighley. For those of you who don't know, which would be none of you guys because it's a video game channel, but I digress. Jeff Keighley has turned himself into somewhat of a media darling in the gaming industry. He has successfully started the Video Game Awards, which has been going on for 10 years now. He also has the Summer's Games Fest that he started a couple years back. That's basically replaced E3. And he's been sort of like the face of the gaming industry. But Jeff, Dorita Pope, I'm talking to you directly now. I know you watch my videos, Jeff. I know if I have one fan, it's you. Are you going to talk about anything of importance? Because I went through your Twitter and you have never mentioned a single layoff, like period. And I went back as far as like December. Nothing in January, nothing in February. But what you have mentioned, you've talked about the Apple Pro Vision or Vision Pro. I don't care what that product, I don't know what his name is. You've spoken about the upcoming Summer Games Fest. You talk about, you have this thing about, the day of the game developer, which is cool and chill and all. And you also just basically promote random shit. You're just shilling for AI Sense, which I did talk about on my TikTok, but it seems stupid. This has to be a joke. This has to be a joke. It's got to be a joke. Because what the fuck is this? AI Sense. Sophisticated AI releases real sense alongside your gameplay, including smells of gunfire, explosion, racing, storm, forest. What the fuck is this? What is the scent of racing? Racing what? Like, if I'm running around in Elden Ring, am I gonna smell sweat? Am I gonna smell the loathsome dung eater? Like, what's gonna happen? What the fuck is human exertion? Why would I want to smell that? Is that the sweat? And also, just golf course. Just golf course. This has got to be an early April Fool's. It's got to be an early April Fool's. It's got to be. There's no way. There's no way this shit's real. But you have all this time to talk about this, yet why not use your massive platform, your face as the face of the media, right? You are people's go-to when it comes to this shit. Why are you not talking about these developers you claim to care about? Why are you not talking about the fact that the industry is wiping them out? Why are you not talking about the fact that there's been 900 people let go from just Sony alone? The same day that information came out, the only thing posted was this stupid ad for AI Scent. And speaking of AI in games, I saw this on my Twitter too, and I was just like, it seems, I don't know, not like a coincidence. It just seems very odd to me that while this is happening, I'm seeing an ad for generating video games through AI text. It's stupid. But Jeff, you have not spoken out on any of these topics. And I feel like you only speak out when it has to do with like Hideo Kojima. So maybe, I don't know, Hideo, can you just lay some people off and just hire them back later on secretly? So maybe Jeff will actually talk about how serious this is. But when you have an entire industry, and you yourself have benefited from the industry, when you have an entire industry going through layoffs daily after either having massive merger acquisitions or huge success, and they're still laying people off, you need to talk about that, Jeff. You need to put pressure on them. You can't put pressure. I don't even have 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube account, and I'm doing what I can here. You can do so much more. And instead of using your massive platform, your huge reach, you are talking about AI Sense? Like, really? These are the people who got you where you are. Without them, these developers releasing their trailers at your award show and giving you more prestige, you have nothing. You should be one of the people on the front lines being, hey, this is completely fucked up. Just seems kind of odd that someone who has both the Summer Games and the Video Game Awards, the night we're supposed to respect and honor gaming, doesn't talk about this shit. Like, and people are going to be like, oh, but maybe it's not him running his account. I don't give a damn. It's someone related or close to Jeff who do that. There's someone who has to be aware of, hey, this industry that we're in, that we should have our finger on the pulse of, seems to be eroding. We seem to be going through some sort of video game collapse. Let's not, mince words here. This isn't just a couple of layoffs. This is industry-wide. Almost every studio's been hit. I don't have enough time to go over every single studio that's had layoffs just within the last 2 months. The first 2 months of the year, which I remind you, has 10 more months. This is, again, unsustainable. And honestly, for Jeff, this is unacceptable. You cannot put yourself as the face of gaming, as the face of the gaming industry, or one of the faces, the voice of the developers, the voice of the people. And then when given that platform, do nothing to show you actually support them. You see more in the pocket of these companies than the actual developers who helped make the games that you love to play and that we all love to play. And if I'm wrong and you come out and you're like, hey, I've been secretly working on this with these developers to get them out, I'm making a union or whatever, then I will gladly delete this video. But I don't think that's happening because you've yet to talk about any layoffs. So yeah, this video was about Jeff. I kind of did a small version of what H Bomber Guy did with James Somerton, who's back, by the way, which is weird. But that's neither here nor there. And now this video is done. Also, sorry I lied because I saw a tweet just now and it really got me upset. I'm not going to post a person because I'm not going to try to like get them dogpiled or I don't know, whatever. But they mentioned how people getting upset about how Jeff Keighley hasn't said anything is dumb because he won't be able to affect change. He's just like a guy. This is stupid. That's dumb. That's such a dumb thing to say. Someone with a large platform talking about any issue is going to affect it. It's going to either put more eyes on it or more social pressure. How in this day and age of social media, of YouTube, all these things, when people are talking about something, has it not worked? I mentioned offhandedly the James Somerton thing. Other people have spoken about James Somerton, but because a bigger creator, H Bomber Guy, spoke about him at length, that caused a ton of new focus on him, which eventually led him to temporarily, we thought permanently, but temporarily cease productions, okay? The guy was a plagiarist. Had it not been for H Bomber Guy, James Somerton could have kept on coasting because he was bigger than the people he was stealing from. But then a bigger creator brought attention to it. Do you see how that works? To sit here and say, oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's really being spoken on the highest levels. How do you know that, first and foremost? You don't know it's being spoken on the highest levels. You don't work for these companies. And we have influencers. We have people whose job is I'm going to calm down. But no, anytime people try to tell you these things, it's because these people, I'm going to be straight up, are cowards. They're cowards. And they want to promote people who are other cowards so they feel better in their cowardice because they don't want to address issues ever. It's a dumb statement is what I'm trying to get at. I know I'm rambling, but it's a very dumb, idiotic statement to come out and say, someone like Jeff Keighley, what could he do? He has an entire award show. Remember when he was like standing for Hideo Kojima against Konami at his award show, which he didn't have to do, but he did. And that brought more gravity to the situation of what's happened to Konami, more eyes on Konami. Remember that? Oh, but now he can't be bothered. Like, oh my God.